Hello loves, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down the new moon in Gemini that is happening tomorrow, June 18th. Though you guys can obviously already feel the energies. So we're going to be breaking down this moon, very powerful moon. Lots going on. I did pull some oracles, some tarot as well for additional messages, but we're going to jump in and get started. So before we jump in fully, don't forget to use the code TWINMOON for 33% off all of my services. It ends tomorrow, June 18th. So definitely make sure you take advantage of it if you need a reading, past life, astrology, all the things. Also, don't forget to sign up for the soul ceremony workshop that we're going to be having. It's going to be a soul journey workshop. So it's going to focus on the journey of your soul, your experiences, past life. It's very, it's going to be very deep. It's one of the most deeper ones one of the deeper workshops that we've done, because it's going to have soul work as a focus. We're going to be doing meditation. We're going to be doing some chanting. We're going to be pulling some tarot. There's a new workbook coming up as well. So definitely make sure you sign up. The link to the Eventbrite will be down below. And as always, High Priest and High Priestess members on Patreon automatically get tickets, because that's one of the perks of being High Priest and High Priestess members. And lastly, don't forget that we're going to Egypt in January. I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing. We're going to do a full moon in Leo ceremony. I did a whole video breakdown. I'm going to be doing a video on some questions that I got emailed soon, as far as certain things that people had questions about when it comes to what to wear and all that kind of stuff. So I will be making a separate video about that, so stay tuned for that as well. Now, with that being said, we're going to jump into this video. We're going to start off with the planetary positions as we always do, and then we're going to be talking about the aspects. So planetary positions, Sun, Moon, and Mercury will all be in Gemini. We have a Gemini stellium happening. Venus and Mars will be in Leo, Jupiter in Taurus, Saturn in Pisces, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune in Pisces, and Pluto in Capricorn, back in Capricorn in retrograde. Fun times. It's definitely been a situation when it comes to the retrograde and Pluto specifically, now bringing it back to Capricorn, because it went into Aquarius. It's going to go back into Aquarius a bit after it, gets out of retrograde, and it can move forward again. But until then, and Saturn going retrograde in Pisces as well. Neptune retrograde in Pisces is also upcoming, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff going on energetically. There's a lot of water, obviously, in the chart. It definitely feels very tingly. It's buzzy. Buzzy is the word I'm looking for. There's water in the chart. There's a lot of air, fire. You got a little bit of generational planets in earth signs as well, so there's definitely a little bit of a balance there. But the energies, lots going on. The sun will be in a conjunction to the moon, because they're in the same sign. So there's definitely a on the same page energy when it comes to your ego, when it comes to your emotional energy. Things that are said is definitely coming, especially when it comes to communication, are coming from a clearer place. You might feel a little bit more clear-headed. You might feel like you are a bit more able to speak up for yourself, or there's just a clarity when it comes to your words, when it comes to your self-expression. There's a clear message coming through, which is really helpful when it comes to navigating these the deeper energies, right? The sun will also be in a square with Neptune, and the moon will also be in a square with Neptune. And so with these two squares, when it comes to the divination, when it comes to the messages, when it comes to some of the ways that spiritually, or even when dream work, that spiritually we're handling certain things, because Neptune is the planet of dreams, the subconscious mind, spirituality, glamour, illusion. And so due to, the spiritual component of Neptunian energy, your dreams might be very active during this period of time. You might be getting very particularly clear dreams during this time as well. Be very gentle with yourself when it comes to the messages, and when it comes to especially the boldness coming through from your ancestors specifically. You might be getting very clear set of directions, especially if you've been asking for hey, what do I do? And they're like, this is what you need to do, and you knew what you needed to do, and it's just very, very clear. Don't run away from your ancestors. Don't run away from what it is. It is what it is, right? And so it's important to be direct and be bold, but also understand that that boldness is going to be redirected towards you as well. So if you're getting that energy, like, there's a reason. There is a reason. There is a sense of, you know, emotionally like feeling, it could be like shocked or surprised or taken aback by a message that comes through, or something that comes up in your healing or your reflection, or you might have a moment that it's just like, it clicks, like the lesson clicked, the message clicked, the reason clicked, like something comes into your consciousness that was almost like swimming in your subconscious for a while, and all of a sudden like something triggers an understanding or triggers a perception or a shift that needed to be understood in a certain way, and now you're able to kind of have that moment. So yeah, there's definitely a shift there. There's definitely a deeper perception there as well. But it's being triggered by this kind of poking at our emotions and poking at our ego. Something that needed to be clarified is clarified, but it might not necessarily be in the way that you want. It might trigger a road opening as well, as Gemini season is a road opening season, so it would. So be also mindful about that. Some solutions to your problems might have unexpected solutions. Sorry. Mercury will also be in a square with Saturn. Okay. Fun times. So with Mercury being in a square with Saturn, there's definitely, especially when it comes to the karmic aspect and a lot of the when it comes to the grounding and the restrictions that have been in place, the realizations that you're having, or the realizations that you've felt that you've had for a really long time, they're being put at the forefront. Like they're really like, it's in your face. It's like, man, that's what it was. That's why I couldn't move on with this. That's why this wasn't working. That's why I just like, no matter what I did, like it just wasn't going anywhere. Like that's why. It feels very like something is being illuminated. Through that illumination, there is clarity. Through that clarity, there's an understanding of the restriction. Through that understanding of the restriction, there is a different choices that are being made, different shifts that are being made in order to go in a separate and different direction that can open up. Again, it's like road opening energy, and you can do road opening work during this particular new moon as well. Really great for road opening work. Venus will be in conjunction to Mars, and so because they're both in the same sign, so this is really great for when it comes to passion, when it comes to love, relationships, when it comes to what you want, when it comes to it's a lot of Venusian energy. It also came up in the tarot, so I'll show, and the oracle, honestly, and I'll show you guys in a sec. But there's a lot of that bold, passionate, wanting to feel good energy pushing through, and it's great because for Gemini season specifically, it's like Geminis are very playful. They want to have fun. They want to enjoy it, and so having that like Leo energy both in Mars and Venus it adds to that playfulness, that openness to playfulness that you can have. And so really great time for that right now, and really great time to really focus on your self-care, but also what you want for yourself in the term of what you're passionate about, what makes you happy. So not just in love, it could be in love, but also not in love. You can also do other stuff. But what makes you feel passionate about whatever it is, like what makes you happy? What are you passionate about? What do you need? What is important to you? All of those kind of things. That's one of the things I would focus on if I were you guys when it comes to this conjunction. Venus will also be in a square with Jupiter. Okay. So be very mindful of overconsumption. There might be a sense of or wanting to overconsume, or swipity the card a little bit too much. Be very mindful of overconsumption, because there is like a little bit of a window for that. You might overdo with these energies, but there's also a sense of like going after what you want, or almost like manifesting what you want by force, or just by like pure will. There's like a little bit of a window for that. But there's definitely a sense of luxury energy. There's a sense of, especially because Jupiter is also in Taurus, so there's a sense of luxury. And Venus is a Leo. Like that's very, very bougie energy. That's very swipity, drop the bills energy. So there's a sense of money and wealth and prosperity energy, but it's almost like there's also a sense of a little bit of overconsumption. So be mindful, but there is a kind of like, you want what you want and you're going to get what you want kind of vibe as well. But just be careful with, you know, doing too much, and because you don't want to regret stuff later, you know, when stuff goes into other stuff, like when the planets move and then you're like, oh, looking back, I shouldn't have swiped too much. Mars will be in a square with Uranus, so this definitely leads for some unexpected moments, some unexpected energies coming up, definitely based on your actions, your own actions, like the things that you're deciding and the things that you're sticking by yourself to do. So you want to make sure that you're like, you know, understanding that your actions have consequences. Some of those consequences, especially if you're connecting to the Gemini energies very vocally, and you're like, you said what you said energy, that you said what you said energy could literally like close and open doors for you during this period of time, especially the level of boldness that's in the chart. So if it gets to that point where it's just like a really bold moment and it's just like, that's it, and then something shifts in a really major way, understand that it's happening because of that air elemental energy where it's just like pushed, and being that Mars is a Leo and the energy of it, and Uranus is a Taurus, the energy of like, I want what I want, and if this is not giving what I want, I like, what is the problem? Why can't I have what I want energy? There's a little bit of a fire there, and a boldness, and a, you know, it's almost like ripping a band-aid and just like, I gotta go. I can't be here. I can't sit here. I got other things that I gotta do. I can't do this, but I have to like take this band-aid off because it's been annoying me. I keep playing with it. I gotta go. But that might reopen a wound a little bit. So you have to be mindful of, you know, the little bit of chaos that can be stirred by some of your actions. And, you know, just don't be careless. Just don't be careless. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna look at the tarot. So we have, starting real strong with the 9 of Swords. Then we're moving into other vibes, Venusian vibes. The energy of the Empress. With Venus, we have the Page of Wands here, which is definitely going to come into play with the Leo energy of the, I want what I want to feel good. Again, that Venusian energy coming really hard, really strong. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles, and our outcome is the Judgment card. So definitely the ancestors have a lot to say. There is definitely, I think, a different path or a different way that you should be approaching a situation during this time. Don't limit the way that you can get what you want. That is a very clear message that's coming through. Don't limit the way that you can get what you want. If you think you can only get to it like this one way, you're actually wrong. There's another way that it can fully come into fruition, fully manifest, fully just develop. Like, don't limit yourself. But there is a time to, this is a time to do a spiritual bath. You need to cleanse the previous energies. They got to be cleansed. You can't sit on this energy and then move into Venusian energies. And, you know, self-care is important for this reset. So this road opening, I recommend road openings. I recommend some spiritual baths, some cleansings, some limpias, like get grounded, some grounding work. Okay. Don't forget where Jupiter is, some grounding work. Make sure you're working with the earth element as well. But really powerful time for love work, to self-love work, attraction, money, all of those kind of things. We also have love and healing, because of course, we have follow your passion, because of course, and awaken your magic. If you've been kind of like putting yourself on the back burner for a while, it's like, it's time. You gotta come out. You gotta come out and play. We have 2 cards. We have beginnings. Don't be afraid to start small and adapt. You will get yourself where you want to be. And that's kind of the key. It's like the road openings that's happening, the shifts that are happening, whatever it is that you're just like, you know what, this hasn't been working. I've been trying to do it this way. It's not working. Let me do it that way. However you are shifting the conversation, shifting the narrative, there is a sense of like, be adaptable, but don't be afraid of starting in a different way, approaching it on a different way. So yeah, lots of powerful energy. Again, this is going to be a very powerful new moon, so use it wisely. I love you guys so much. That's the whole thing. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for subscribing. For everybody who's new here, I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have a very blessed day. Bye.